afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 21st, 2021, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure a lot of you understand there's a massive global awakening, and it is one. It's, a lot, through the years, people have always talked about global awakenings and, a lot of people waking up, but this is much different. We're having because of the vibrational frequencies of the civilization, collective consciousness, we'll put it that way, of being more aware, the frequencies increase, and the frequencies are basically our consciousness, in the God consciousness within us. So as we become clearer, more so gravitating towards who and what we are within each other, ourselves, then we begin to realize that we are highly advanced beings within this body. So when you understand that, it's not for the ego mind, it's from the heart mind. So some people fight it, but you don't really need to fight it. You just surrender to it. Because people are afraid of things changing. It's always the ego mind comes in and it dictates to the heart mind, and it's always about, am I going to lose things? I'm not going to have the same, everything the way my life is now. Quite frankly, no. And I don't think anybody that's somewhat awake that disagrees with that understanding is that our existence here on this planet has changed forever, and the vibrational frequencies are just going to continue. So we need as many of us as possible to step on the train, so to speak, of the higher vibrational frequencies, of becoming aware. And it doesn't mean those that are not awake, that are any different or anything than those that are awake. It has nothing, I think we have such a judging nature with others that, well, you're not awake, but I am, and, you don't know this, but I know this. And it isn't about that, because let's put it this way, let's say that your foot falls asleep, okay? And in that foot, there are literally thousands of cells, millions of cells. And so you know how your foot can fall asleep, or an arm or something. But what do? You work on it so you can get that circulation going again, so you can wake that foot up, because you don't care to walk on it. You've ever done that, where your foot falls asleep and you get up and walk on it, and it's the weirdest feeling, because you don't have that circulation going in there. But you work on it to get it back, right? So it's so different. Parts of us, from that perspective, that analogy, are not awake. And that's parts of us, parts of the collective consciousness, are not awake. And this is what the ascension's about, is that each of us determine our frequencies and start understanding that how we vibrate with ourselves is what we will manifest. It doesn't matter. It is constant. It is an absolute fact that how you vibrate, and a lot of us are not consciously aware of it at all, and it's not a bad thing, it's just they're not consciously aware of it. So they vibrate and they attract things, and they don't understand how they're attracting these things, because how it goes. I don't deserve this. Why is this happening to me? And, why has my life always been like this? And, I have all these, because we vibrate a frequency that actually the universe responds to. It's like a signal. It's like a communication, and a highly advanced one. And it is a vibrational frequency that's sent out to the universe responds to it. So if you're not aware of who and what you are, and you're not with the within journey, you're more on the outside journey of this material world, of having and wanting and getting. Understand and I'll be revealing a lot of things on my TFCC call, but that a lot of untruths have saturated the civilization. And most of us right now, I think that the majority of people, not everybody, but the majority, have they feel insecure because it's always about finances, money. It is. That's right now. This is how we operate. We operate with funds, just like us with funding for our technologies. Right now you've got to have that energy, and that's what it is. It's energy. It's a form of energy. It is an abundance energy, so to speak. And a lot of us, some people just don't think they deserve to be wealthy, to be rich. They don't. It's like, oh, I don't deserve to have that much. You get no more or no less than what you believe you deserve. That's it. Quote from Dan Millman. That's what we believe that we deserve, we will have. That's it. Oh, no more, no less. And a lot of us have this relationship with this energy, this money, okay, this wealth. And some of us are barely on speaking terms. Distance acquaintances who never connect, or are you best friends with money? So you kind of look at yourself and say, are you just barely on speaking terms with money? Or maybe distant acquaintances who never connect? Or are you best friends with it? There's a lot of people who have unhealthy relationships with money, okay? Holding themselves back from literally creating a lot more, from manifesting the kind of lifestyle and freedom they desire and deserve. All of us on this planet, period. It's a no-brainer. Literally should all be wealthy. I mean, across the board. But we're not because of how we view ourselves. That's all there is to it. If your relationship with money was like a relationship you had with a person, what kind of relationship would you like to have? Think about that. If your relationship with money was like a relationship you had with someone else, what kind of relationship would you like to have? How would you like to feel about the money that is in your life? Because it's in all of our lives. You know, whether a little teeny bit, a little bit more, a lot, or a huge amount, okay? So how would you like to feel about the money that is in your life now and the money that is yet to come? So imagine for a few moments that you can see, feel, and experience money as if the money that's in your life now were a real live human being. What would they look like? How old are they? You know, how are you treating Mr. or Mrs. Money, Mr. or Miss Money? Are you needy or demanding in any way? Do you often feel, I have to have more of you? Or I never see enough of you? Or do you have a fairly healthy relationship with Mr. or Miss Money? Yet you don't really trust that they will always be abundant when you are in need of it. In either way, it's important to evaluate and understand what your current relationship is with money. You know, a lot of people they kind of poo-poo themselves by saying, oh, you know, money's the root of all evil. And that's just totally untrue. So we put up these defenses with this energy, because it's a frequency. Oh, it's paper, whatever, however that energy is represented, okay? One very important thing to understand is that, and this is never really portrayed this way. It may be on occasion, but is to understand that money is just pure divine energy. It's the divine God source. It's unfortunate that it gets in the wrong hands, but the divine God source is in every atom and molecule in this universe. So it is definitely found in those electrons in your bank account. Or if you don't have a bank account, in your pocket. When you realize that it is truly pure conscious energy. And that's what it is. Even though it's represented by pieces, things, it will form into whatever you want it to be. We talk a lot about moving energy into form, creating it into reality. That's manifesting, okay? So for now, let's imagine that you are best friends with your money. What does this relationship feel like for you? Ask yourself that. See what it takes to receive your best friend's trust in you and your trust in them. You know, when you have a best friend, whoever that may be, whatever that may be, you have a total trust in them, with them. You know they always will have your back, period. No question, no doubt about it. You know they'll always be there to help you. You know that too. No matter what. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel, embarrassed to ask your best friend for assistance or some help at all. Now, unfortunately, that's a rarity on this planet, but it's changing. And you realize that this energy will form into whatever you want it to be. And that's your best friend, one of your best friends, however you look at it. Trust that this person is going to be there for you when you need them, and that they will do whatever they can to support you. And I'm not talking about worshiping money at all. It's totally different it's not even connected to that. When money is your best friend, you know that you can relax deeply inside and know it will always be there for you. But what happens? What happens? I've talked to people that have just buku wealth. And they're nervous wrecks. Always worried about not losing it, not having it. And always concerned about someone taking it from them. That's just no way to be. That's just, and that backlashes to you that wealth isn't your best friend. It's almost like an enemy. When you can truly let go and trust money, you'll see that it is always supporting you no matter what occurs in your life. But it's the trust factor that most don't have. So it doesn't support them. It can leave, disappear. The interesting thing is that this element of trust shifts your vibration and allows even more money to pour into your bank account. I guarantee you that when you let go and you have this faith and trust in your best friend, money, always be there, always will, just like the universe. When your best friend or your best friends with someone, you truly respect, honor, and appreciate them for what and who they are. You don't try to change them, and you always focus on what you appreciate about them instead of what you dislike. You see yourself now walking hand in hand with money. Money is at your side, supporting you, providing for you, so that you can experience the joys and growing opportunities of this life. It's an assistant, just like a best friend. Notice how good it feels to have money as a true friend. Now, some people say, "Oh, that's just stupid. That's ridiculous. It's nothing." You ought to try this each night before you go to bed this week. Take 5 to 10 minutes to open up your heart to feeling a healthy, abundant relationship with money. It's not a bad thing. No, it's not about greed. It had nothing to do with any of that. That's all been infiltrated, trying to, basically distract or divert wealth from the people by feeling bad about having it. Practice knowing and having a special place in your heart for money that feels good, trusting and supportive of you and your life's journey. The more trust you can grow in your relationship with money, the easier it becomes to manifest the material life you deserve. I mean, we came to this planet. Our souls entered these bodies. Yeah, okay, so we do have challenges. We create that for ourselves. It'd be boring if we didn't. So we've got some things that challenge us, and we experience them and stuff. But as far as the pain and suffering, it does not need to go on forever. You experience pain and suffering, that's all you need to do. One time, that's enough. Practice feeling that money is pure divine energy and see how good it feels to imagine having an abundance of it in your life to share with others. Throughout each day, let's say in the next 7 days, if any fearful, limiting, doubtful, or negative thoughts about money arise, just say, no, thank you. That's it. That's all you got to do. No, thank you. See, because that happens. Say, any fearful, limiting, doubtful, or negative thoughts about money arise, just say, no, thank you. And refocus on what your trusting relationship with money is like. You can relax into knowing that the perfect amount of money will always be there for you no matter what happens all throughout your entire life. See, that's very important. But you can tell, all of us, none of us are exempt from it through this life, how we've perceived money, what our perspectives are, what we were taught with other people's thoughts when we were growing up. And how we you imagine if you were raised in a family where your mother and father constantly told you, we can't afford that, can't afford that, we 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 can't afford that. After a while, I guarantee you, all right, what would happen is that as you grew into your own place in this life, you would start professing that to your children if you had children, or to yourself. Can't afford that, can't afford that, can't afford that, can't afford that, can't afford that. You see how things can get really, really skewed? That's where we begin to replace worry with wonder. All of us, you are neither consciousness nor its content. You are the timeless source. You are beyond consciousness, the supreme reality. That's what each and every one of us are. And we, as we exist, as the beings in these bodies, we continually create our supreme reality. Trust that. Nisargadatta. How many people worry about our futures? You may not be aware of it, yet the act of worrying is one of the biggest energy drains people have that stops them from moving energy into form, creating into reality, from manifesting the life of their dreams. It's a lot like television, and that the worried mindset will pull you in and entertain you for hours, days, years, and even lifetimes. Worrying is praying for what you don't want to manifest. See? It's a different perspective. Worrying is praying for what you don't want to manifest, and is exactly how you create what you don't want in your life. If you're always putting energy into what you don't want to happen, how much energy is left to meditate on and feel what you do want? when we spend our time hoping and wishing that we don't experience something, the universe just hears that as something you really need to experience. It just hears that as something you really need to experience. Worry stems from not trusting your personal connection to this universe. It is created from being attached to some positive and negative ideas about a future situation. The mind is attached to the thought that it will not happen the way you think it should. And worrying is living in a what-if state of mind that is visualizing what you don't want to experience instead of what you do. When you're worried, you have stopped appreciating, trusting, and are focusing on fear. What might or might not occur is ultimately up to the universe in the end. Always has been, always will be. And our main job is to raise our vibration so that we do our little part in making the planet a more enjoyable place and inadvertently attracting the highest possible people and situations into our lives. Worry is caused from a lack of consciousness, which can be shifted with a little mental discipline and focus. When worrying, the reins on the mind are too tight on fear and too loose on love. The mental horses of the mind run wild when worry is present, and you end up getting pulled down roads you never wanted to go down. If you've been practicing the fine art of worrying for years, you may be numb to passion, pleasure, and freedom and have become a worry zombie. To step out of the zombie zone, you simply need or choose to do one thing: pull back on the reins of your mind. Steer those addicted horses back to your pleasure pastures by staying focused on trust and feeling the positive outcome you really want. You'll soon find that the mind is much happier, and its worried approach to living will leave your lives stable. The universe knows what it's doing. It is divinely intelligent, vastly creative. What if the future was 100% perfect exactly as it showed up and there was nothing you could do about it? What if you could see the bigger pictures of the next 100 years of your life and know there was absolutely nothing needed to change for it to learn what your soul came here to learn? How would it feel if you could surrender to trusting the future all the time, 24/7? Aren't you worried about the future? No, I trust the future. I have no doubt about the future whatsoever. It is up to you to let go and experience trust for yourself and this divine cosmic play we call life. And when you let go of trust, what is and what will be, magically things begin to happen. The universe will start answering your every request because you are in alignment with it. If you're not in alignment with it, it's not going to work. And you're in alignment with what is, instead of trying to change, control, or conquer what is destined to be. The mind is too small of a container to understand how everything is predestined, and yet we have the free will to change our imminent future. The future is not set in stone, never has been, never will be. It is written in the sand, which ironically is what allows the mind to experience the energy of worry in the first place. If everything was set in stone, there would be no way we could grow and have the grand experience of shifting from love to fear. So it's just whether or not you choose to. You choose to step permanently out of worry mode in your life, take an honest, deep look inside yourself and see what your personal worry issues are usually around. Why are we so attached to these issues and not the other issues? So you get curious about the subtleties of this attachment and simply notice how it feels to be attached. You take another step, is replacing worry and wonder with wonder. Replace your worry with wonder. And being curious about what these hurting parts inside you truly need. After you find out what they are missing, love, trust, appreciation, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, then let them feel what they need. Feel a sense of wonder inside about everything inside you. And then constantly refocus your mind on being curious about what it discovers is true and real. Every time the mind goes into worry, automatically replace it with wonder. Now, you can implement, this is just a simple switch. The instant you begin worrying, and your life will become absolutely wonderful. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. This is the first step into anything of the journey within, is relax the body. And you, each of us, are the only ones that can do that. Naturally, organically. So we let go. It's a practice. It really is. It's just a practice. It's what you get in the habit of doing. You know, it's almost like taking an inventory. Let's see, how are we doing, body? Are you relaxed or are you not? What have you taken in? What have you magnetized to yourself? What have you moved energy into form, created into reality, or manifest yourself with? Maybe consciously or unconsciously. So you kind of do an inventory. It's really easy. You're not evaluating or judging yourself. You're just finding out if the body has attached to any things that don't serve you the greater good. And that's the question you ask. Does this, I'm worried about this, or I'm stressing about this, does it serve me the greater good? And you do it with the heart mind, because you're not going to go anywhere with the ego mind when you try to do it with the ego mind. You do it through the heart mind. Is this serving me the greater good? And just about 99.9999% of the time, you're going to say, no, it isn't. So therefore, I surrender it. I let it go. And that's what you do. You just surrender it. But if you do it through the ego mind, it's not going to work. I keep reminding you of that because that's how it operates. And the body, boom, just each step that you let go of these things, it just eases, relaxes. Thank you. And it just continues to move into a total relaxed state. And it's just leaning into the God that you are. Your body leans into the God that you are. And just totally relax. Like getting in an easy chair that you don't want to get out of, because as soon as you sit in it, it's so comfortable you don't want to get up. So as you relax the body from head to toe, and by surrendering these things that you've magnetized to yourself, you'll know through the heart mind what they are. You also know that they don't serve you the greater good, so why have them? Then you release them. Body relax, leans into the God that you are, and you move into the now. And the now is all we really do have. We don't have a past. That's why it's past, gone, dead. We don't have a future because we're creating the future in the now. Now, we all have memories. Memories are great. They're wonderful. And a lot of us will embrace them and remember, this is great. I remember this. I remember that. Nostalgia and stuff. None of us are exempt from that. It's great. It's fun. Then, some of them are not too good that we kind of run into in our memories. But they're there for a reason because, we store them in our subconscious mind. So we refer, let's put it that way, we refer to them at times. But we have to be careful not to judge based on those past memories in the present. Why can't you be like so-and-so was in my, I remember and how that goes. But some of us will go into the past, which is basically an elephant graveyard, and it's all a bunch of carcasses and bones, and it's all misty and smoky there, and you're just sitting there kind of leaning against one of the carcasses, and you're just living in the past. And some of us will live there so long that we bring that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. And when we do that, we find ourselves questioning ourselves throughout this life, wondering why we keep ending up in the same place no matter what we do in this life. That's why. Future, some of us will wander. Not wonder, wander. We'll wander into the future that doesn't exist, and we'll say, well, why isn't this happening, and why can't this happen, and I'd like this to have happen, and when am I going to have this happen, and when is this going to happen, and, I wonder what if it would happen here, and this and that. So if you understand that future doesn't exist, and you're wandering, people wander into a future that doesn't exist their whole lives. They spend most of their energy wandering and trying to figure out how they're going to have this and have that when they're not in the now, where they create their futures. The now is the space between heartbeats. It is the moment. It's what we're focused on in that moment. The past is a bunch of dead moments that then became past. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're cutting vegetables. It doesn't matter if you're looking at something or you're picking your fingers or your nose, whatever. It's what the moment is. Have you ever, you're doing something, right? And you believe that you're, paying attention to what you're doing. But oftentimes we aren't, because the universe will remind us that, you stub your toe, or you're not watching where you're going in the moment, or you do this, or you do that. It's because you're not really in the now. And those are all reminders to say, if you stub your toe, you're not paying attention to where you're going. And you go, oh, boy, that's smart. It's the universe's way of reminding you that you're not in the moment. You're not in the now. So the now stills the mind and the ego, and it stills the subconscious mind. What does that mean? It means that you leave the mind and the ego alone. And the subconscious mind, you leave them alone. You step outside of them. And when you step outside of them, you have a much better view of how they operate, how they work. This is how you master them. They become great allies rather than horrible masters. So, but how do we stay in the now? Because, those thoughts are out there. It's like clouds passing in the sky. And sometimes, we'll be in the now, and then we just kind of grab onto one of those clouds, and it just kind of carries us off. It's not a bad thing. It just means that we're not in the now. So you focus on your breath. Every time you are consciously aware, which is a good thing, you're consciously aware that you're wandering off. Here I am wandering off, and so I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. And 3,000% of the time, you'll be in the now. It's super powerful to be in the now and to focus on the now, only the now. Because all of those thoughts, all of those things that generate your worry, your relationship with money, everything, that's why. Because we're not in the now. And we're not in gratitude. So your breath is divine positive energy. Why is it divine positive energy? It sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God. Yeah. Where does the breath come from? The God. That's where the breath comes from. So it's divine, and it's very positive. So every single time you focus on your breath, you're in the now. You move into the divinity that you actually are. Now you look at your body, you're not in it, okay, understand that from a certain perspective. You're looking at your body. You're not judging it and evaluating it. You're looking at your body, and you notice that in the center of your body, running from your tailbone all the way to the top of your head, are 7 colored wheels of light. Not like colors here on Earth. They're much deeper, much more vibrant. And these are known as energy vortexes, chakras, and which runs through them as your God force, love, light, energy, which is connected to all the organs and all the emotions and everything in your body. It's like a window. It's like a scope that you can view in different parts, organs, and motions in your body to know what's out of whack and what isn't. So the divine, the God force, love, light energy flows through it, and we're like an energy fountain in these bodies, and this energy flows right directly up through our thoracic, right, the center of our bodies, all the way up the top of our heads, and it runs right back down, up and around. So we take our divine positive energy, and we join it with the God force, love, light energy. Its origin is the God. Doesn't it make sense that you join it with the God force, love, light energy? And we watch as we move it, it moves through these 7 energy vortexes, these chakras. And the first chakra we see is beautiful, vibrant, ruby red color. It's deeper. It's deeper than the fire engine red. And that deals with survival and is blocked by fear. And then we move to the orange wheel of light. These all have Sanskrit names. We'll put it that way. Sanskrit is old language, old communication. And at the root chakra, the red wheel of light, the Muladhara, that is literally our survival, our financial, our food, everything. And it's blocked by fear. Fear can be utilized as something very good or something very bad. In the orange wheel of light, which is the sacral chakra, the Vadasthana. This is our pleasure. This is our sexuality. This is, and it's about abundance, well-being, pleasure, sexuality. And it's blocked by guilt. See, that's what happens. If you have a lot of money, you come and you have a lot of money, and you say to yourself, "Oh boy, I don't feel right. I don't think I deserve all this." You ever? Yeah. So that guilt blocks your pleasure, blocks the relationship you have with your money, period. Then you move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is our ability to love. And it's blocked by grief. Grief. It's the heart chakra, the anahata. our relationships, with ourselves, with others, self-acceptance. And grief blocks it. Then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra. This is the Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate. It basically is our truth. And it's blocked by lies. And then move to the indigo wheel of light. Third eye chakra, the Ajna. This is our intuition, sense of purpose, direction in our lives. Be able to see the big picture. And it's blocked by illusion. And then we move to the violet wheel of light. This is the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is our direct connection with the spirituality, fully connected. The God. Our inner beauty. Pure bliss. It's blocked by ego attachment. To know these things so that we become more aware of who and what we are, how the body functions, what these chakras are about, what the energy frequency. It's not complicated either. It's not arduous and taskful. It's just moving into this frequency and energy that it is basically, it's our natural state of being. And so we bring these energies up to the top of our heads. And we hold them briefly. We are light. We are love. We are God. And in that brief moment, we condense those energies into pure, liquid, omnipotently powerful energies. And we release them over our pineal glands. Our pineal gland is really important to us while we're in these bodies. Now, none of us have fully healthy, vibrant, functioning pineal glands, but we will. And they literally connect us to all the particles of existence, and eventually you will then learn how to travel to all the particles of existence and beyond, just through intent. So you can view your pineal gland however you view it through your heart, mind's motion picture. I see it as a green ball rosebud. And when I pour this omnipotently powerful liquid energy over it, and it instantaneously changes into this massive, fully blossomed rose, massive multicolored petals, and a beautiful, wonderful fragrance, and it sends out these soft, shimmering waves that just saturate me, soak me. And I embrace them. The first wave is deep, eternal love, and then comes deep, eternal gratitude, and then deep, eternal peace. And I'm overwhelmed from the fact, not from the fact of being confused, but absolutely euphoric of this energy that's saturating me. And then I discover that it is me. That the rose is me and I'm the rose. And those waves that are saturating me are me. Is the God source. It's my natural state of being. These bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, subconscious mind, pure consciousness to God, all one. And we are heaven on this earth. The soul's the heaven, the body is the earth. We are heaven on this earth. And we're all consciously aware that we're of and from the highest, deepest eternal love. and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. We cannot not. And we're shining our God Force Love Light energy, flooding everything 360 degrees around us. Imagine that. What that's like. What that feels like. And it's all our natural state of being, all of us. So we're flooding all of our brothers and sisters head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. And we're doing this 24/7. So we're forming the increase, the high increase of vibrational frequencies into these energies of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. So you're transforming this planet out of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into bliss, deep eternal love, deep eternal gratitude, deep eternal peace. Everything. The planet glows. It is so bright with the God light. It is a paradise. It is transforming into a paradise. And the collective consciousness, those of us who are awake enough, are who's doing it. This is why it's so important for us to begin the journey within and stay within. Now, we're all pieces and parts of the collective consciousness, and we seek out or reach out to other parts of us that are consciously aware. Some of us aren't consciously aware because we're still asleep. Other parts of us are asleep. So we call out to all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now consciously. We call out to all of the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and the complete liberation of this planet. Now they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe without space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes, from every direction, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all of the celestials, all the galactics. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the deepest of eternal peace can be with us in this now, in this meditation, to form the circle of light. If they aren't aware and conscious of these things, they cannot consciously be with us. And yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every single day. Trillions throughout the universes every single day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Felines, the Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, and many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they, in uncountable numbers, are with us now, consciously. Call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth Gaia area, and this now, and this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth Gaia area. And their numbers into trillions, and they're in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen. As a matter of fact, we only see 1% of what is. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, all one, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God. And we're all love. And we have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. These are those who have ascended into physical form, mastered physical form, and are in whole pure consciousness God form. The archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other, but we meet with them a lot. We just aren't consciously aware of it. The ones that we do meet that we're consciously aware of, it comes upon us to understand that the message that they give us is the same, but delivered in many different ways. Isn't it absolutely marvelous, fantastic, wonderful, magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And when you realize that, recognize it fully with the gods that you are, then the bliss within you bubbles to the surface. They can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands in numbers because of their vibrational frequency. They can house a large number in a small area. And both of them, the Ascended Masters and the Archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. So we all form immediately a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth Gaia area in this now. This light emanates from the God force love light energy within each and every single one of us. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It'd take over 1,000 billion suns in the solar system even to compare to its brilliance. And we're flooding everything on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, with pure, deep, eternal love, our light of the gods that we are, our deep, eternal love of which we are made, flooding all of our brothers and sisters inside and out, head to toe, all life, the highest supreme value in this universe, and in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We begin to ascend above this planet that's this circle of light. As we do, we're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. And it's reflecting and sparking and beaming everywhere. Beautiful, multicolored, vibrant colors in the trillions. And then we zero in on these reflective surfaces, and we see that they're perfectly etched mirrors with no end to them. And we discover that we're reflecting each other, parts of ourselves. All of us, gathered in this meditation, on and off world, hundreds of millions of us. Excuse me. Are teaching. We are students and we are teachers of each other, of parts of ourselves. This is how we learn on this journey. This is endless. It's absolutely phenomenal. Teaching, we are students and we are teachers, with and for each other. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, perpetually, eternally, always, with a white fire armor. It emanates from the God Force love light energy within us. It cannot be penetrated, cannot be harmed, scratched, dented, infiltrated. No demon, no possessions, no lower dark matter, survival matter, frequency influences. Nothing. No voodoo, no Wicca, nothing. Ever. Yeah. Only you. Only you. Only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralite substance. We send them in pure consciousness, where they're vaporized. They're no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that we can bring in right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can literally cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency of the purest and the highest of the highest high, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and the forests. We are the soils and the animals. We are everything. So the next time you see a beautiful sunset or sunrise, and you're taken in awe of such grandeur and divineness and beauty, It is you that you're in awe of. It is the God that each and every single one of us are in these bodies that we're in awe of. We continue to ascend above this planet, and as we do, some of us step outside our physical form, if we're carrying physical form, because we can float effortlessly above them. Immediately come in contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it. It's larger than the solar system. And when you look at the column, you see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white ball of sparkling light. It's surrounded by numerous bands of beautiful, vibrant, multicolored rings, bands of light. And they're all sending these misty saturation waves, literally flooding, saturating, and bathing all of us head to toe, inside and out, perpetually, always. And the yellow-white or the golden-white ball of sparkling light, this is pure, deep, eternal love. And the rest of the rings, the bands, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, well-being, great wealth, joy. It's continual. And then we discover it is us. It is the God within us that is literally saturating us in these waves, so that we awaken, so that we embrace the gods that we are. At the top of this crystalline light tower, we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees always, as it is doing right now on all of us, through all of us. Pure, deep, eternal love. And all of us are drops of this golden ocean. We hold the essence of the golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds well over 1,300 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of us gathered, hundreds of millions on and off planet, in uncountable numbers, for the liberation of this planet and the ascension of this civilization, flooding us all constantly, eternally, with this deep, eternal intent and love and joy and bliss and abundance and prosperity. It's unending. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond and forever. This is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. You are the guide. The God within you is the guide. You're the one. You're the divine cosmic energy. You command the universe. You move everything. You move energy into form. You create it into reality. You, all of us, are supreme reality. We are immortal supreme beings. All of us. And it is what we move into form that we create. Trust the universe. Trust the God within you. And watch the financial aspect of this life that you're experiencing completely change. When you understand that you love, trust, appreciate yourself with gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. This is a switch that you turn. It's a simple switch. And that's what you begin As soon as you begin worrying, you switch it to the trust that you have within the God that you are, to the trust in the universe, to the trust in money. I'll join you in the meditation. Return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly and easily. Excuse me. Our lives are what our thoughts are made. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Absolute fact. So begin treating or associating yourself through the heart-mind with money as a trusting best friend. The same with the universe. The same with you and the God within you. And whenever your insecurity or worry comes in about financial, money, just say, no thank you. If you have to say it 100 times, 1,000 times a day. And then move into what you desire in this life. How you desire this life to be. How you want it to be. And that's with no expectations or attachments. So take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We'll be back here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Time for Change call on this line. And tomorrow for our Global Guided Meditation call, April 22nd, 2021, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern.